I am currently covered in drywall dust because I'm still building my new office. It's coming. I'm telling you, probably 2 weeks or so, we'll have it all finished up and I'll give you guys the big reveal. But while I was doing that, Call of Duty dropped some massive intel in regards to Modern Warfare 3. They basically showed us what all the maps are looking like. In other words, all of those remastered Modern Warfare 2 maps that are going to be the mainstay of Modern Warfare 3. Yeah, we get to see all of those as well as a little bit of gameplay, some weapons, things like that. Essentially, it's our first look at the multiplayer of Modern Warfare 3. And they didn't just go with a little bit here. This thing is nearly 3 minutes long. So what we're going to do is go in and I'm going to kind of break it down live, pause it as we go through. You'll see what I mean as we go through. But essentially, this is our first real Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer gameplay. All right, I'm actually going to mute them because I'm going to pause it many times and you'd be very confused if I paused it and there's someone else talking. So we start off here with High Rise. This is our first look at what the new High Rise looks like. Then after this, I believe this is Skid Row. This is the map that kind of has the two sides and then the apartment buildings down the middle. Looks very similar to the original Modern Warfare 2. Then this is followed up by Scrapyard. We had this one in Modern Warfare 2019, not looking too different, but it's more of like a remaster than it is a remake. This one, I'm not 100% sure what this one is. It could be Skid Row, depending on the angle that they're giving us here. If you know, let me know down in the comments. And this is finally followed up by Rundown. Now, the cool thing about this map is this is much brighter than the original Rundown. It was darker, a lot more red. So this is kind of the biggest change we've seen out of all of them so far. There's one big thing coming up in this trailer that has to do with story, by the way. So make sure you stay tuned for that because it's a really big one. Now, I'm going to unmute here and we're going to have a listen to what they have to say.
These classic maps. When we told the art team.
So this is Derail. In my opinion, this is the worst map in Modern Warfare 2. It's way too big. I just don't like it. But it looks a lot better, a lot more vibrant, and I think a lot more clear to see players, just higher resolution as a whole. Then we have Invasion. Again, this one looks very similar. There might be a couple new balconies there because I don't totally recognize this alley, but much better looking.
They lit up. They were.
Favela looks absolutely amazing, and I'm going to mute the guy because I think he's just being annoying at this point. But this one looks absolutely amazing. I would love to see it from the other side. Hopefully we get to see that. Skid Row, this is the map that we talked about before, and then they just kind of talk about designing these maps as a whole and how they're excited to bring them back. Now, go back. This is one of my favorite screenshots that we actually get throughout this whole thing. High Rise looks absolutely amazing here. You can see the line of sight straight down the middle. The colors are a little bit different, but as a whole, the map looks very similar. What's interesting to me is the buildings around it have way more detail than they did in the original Modern Warfare 2. Then we move to Estate next. This one's relatively the same, just better colors in my opinion. Just looks really good. Then we have Karachi Underpass, one of the other least favorite maps within Modern Warfare 2. So they are bringing back them all, even the bad ones. As I mentioned, the bad ones, we have Derail. Then we have Rust. So this is one of those maps that's just been remade over and over again. It has the shipment effect, we have the Nuketown effect, we also have the Rust effect going on as well. This is the playlist that we're probably going to get Rust 24/7 as we play through the game. As of right now, we still haven't seen any guns, any gameplay, but don't worry, we are getting to that. Now, they get a little bit more into designing the maps and how they did it. I don't think you guys are really too interested in that. If you are, I can kind of link it down in the comments if you want to watch the whole thing. That is building the alley on Skid Row. And then we have Afghan. This looks absolutely amazing. This looks like it's straight out of Warzone, and it basically is. We know it is in the El Mazrah map, so they're kind of building off of that one. But I must say, it looks really good. There we have Favela. That's an amazing screenshot. The overview of this map kind of has one of the best vistas of probably any Call of Duty map ever. Just look at that. It looks so good compared to the original. One of the maps I'm looking the most forward to is probably this one, and High Rise as well. Giving the overview, there we go. We have our first look at actual jumping, climbing gameplay. It looks really smooth. We got the Uzi there, if you're wondering what that weapon is. But as you can see, the climbing routes are a little bit different than what we had in the original Modern Warfare 2, as the movement has changed going forward into Modern Warfare 3. Again, this is the only weapon that we actually do get to see, but you can see how much faster this movement is and how much faster the traversal is than other Modern Warfare, well, the original Modern Warfare 2, as you can see there. So then we get into Quarry. This is another map. There we have Rundown, Scrapyard, Subbase, another one of my favorite maps of all time. Just love that map. I have so many memories going for nukes on that map. And then they essentially go in and say pre-order it to get the early access to the open beta and campaign early access as well. That's pretty much all we have there. As I mentioned, there is one story thing that I do want to go over, but just as a comparison, I'm just kind of scrolling through Twitter here. But this is the old Karachi and this is the new one. So that is kind of what I was talking about earlier when we were looking at the trailer, just the comparison and the color difference. Now, they did also put out some images. This is the look at the new Rust. So this one was actually sent to me by a fan, by Jigsaw Aladdin on Twitter. And this is the one that I really wanted to talk about because I think this is really important. And if you haven't picked up on it yet, it is a really, really big one. So he sent this to me because, yes, this is Terminal. We really didn't get to see much of it within the trailer. You may also notice that we have the Verdansk football team going on in the background there on one of the image. What you may not have picked up is the words right beside it says Zakhaev. This is Zakhaev International Airport. This is the airport from the very first No Russian mission. So not only are we going to have No Russian 2.0 going on within Modern Warfare 3 with them being on the plane and everything, we're also getting a look at the original No Russian on the terminal map, which in my opinion is really, really cool. And just showing the attention to detail, I have a feeling we're going to be finding a lot of Easter eggs on these maps. And of course, I will keep you guys informed once they actually come out. By the way, I'm pretty sure that map that I didn't know before, I believe it was Invasion, by the way. So that is essentially everything you need to know about this trailer. We've gone through all of the maps. You've seen the gameplay. That is what we have moving forward. Now, here is what I have to say about this. It is really, really weird going into a Call of Duty game, knowing absolutely every map and what they play like and where the good spots are and everything like that. Normally, we get maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 maps within the open beta, and you get to learn those. And then when the full game comes out, there's a bunch of new content. Now, keep in mind, we are getting Ground War and we are getting War, the game mode that we had, I believe, from World War II that is moving forward into this game as well. Those are going to be on new maps. Those aren't the same Modern Warfare 2 maps. But if you're a 6v6 player, you know every single map that is going into this game. And that's really weird. And it brings up the question, what is the longevity of this multiplayer actually going to be like when people have already played some of these maps for tens, if not hundreds of hours if you have played a lot? It's going to be interesting to see how that ends up working out. But we did get to see our first look at gameplay. And from what I saw, the movement looks good. The maps look really, really good. I expect nothing less. If they're remaking every single map, they better look good, or else people are just going to be like, what's the point of even playing this? But yeah, the gameplay looks good. Everything else looks good. But I want to hear what you guys have to say. Are you looking forward to this? Do you think it's kind of a gimmick having all of these remade and remastered? What do you think of the gameplay? Is the gameplay fluid enough? Is it what you are expecting in this game? I am very, very curious to hear what you guys have to say. So let me know down in the comments if you enjoy these type of videos, you want to stay up to date on everything Call of Duty. Make sure you're subscribed, have notifications on, all of that jazz. And if you enjoyed, hit that like button. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for